In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a process flowchart utilizing the Canva online platform. Once on the online platform, navigate to the left hand side of your screen. You're going to see a plus button that says Create on it. Once you've located the button, click Create. Now in the search bar, you're going to want to type in Flowchart. A few options are going to appear. Select the one that you'd like to use. A blank page is going to appear. Now you have the option of starting your flowchart from scratch, or you can choose to use one of the templates provided by Canva. Some templates have the crown icon, which are for premium users only. In this example, we're going to select the first option that pops up. Once your template has loaded, you're going to want to start with your title. The title of your flowchart should reflect everything that the flowchart stands to accomplish. After you have chosen your title, it is time to start thinking about planning the next steps of your flowchart. A good place to start is to think about a central person of interest within your flowchart, or you can think about the first step of a process flowchart if you're showcasing an assembly line for a product. What you want to do next is make sure everything fits properly according to color and size. Make sure all that you're showcasing in your flowchart is readable with ease. As you undertake this process, it's a good idea to think about the next steps or important people within your flowchart. Once you've determined the important people or next steps within your flowchart, it is time to write them down in their respective places. As you can see, I'm filling in two spaces with steps and people of interest. It is really important to write a few important details for each step, or for a person of interest, write their position within the organization. Now, in order to keep your flowchart looking good, it is time to change around some of the basic colors within the template. Make sure you choose colors that are easy to read and stand out. Another important point is you can play around with the template's already given arrows. You can make them curved or elbowed depending on your liking. Additionally, depending on the type of flowchart that you're trying to make, having external charts or charts generated by Canva can help to elevate the level of detail of your flowchart. For the purpose of this example, I've selected a chart icon from the Elements section of Canva. In similar fashion, you may choose to introduce a graph, either from Canva or externally. If your process flowchart is reflecting the performance of a sales department, a graph may be a great thing to add to your chart. It is important to strategically place all your charts and graphs within your flowchart so that the flowchart doesn't look too confusing or cluttered. Moreover, if you find yourself needing more arrows, you can always go to the Elements section and type in arrow. Once you click on it, an arrow is going to pop up. You can choose to interconnect related people or steps with that arrow. Once you have that arrow in place, you can change its color or its shape. You can make it elbow or curve to your liking. After placing your arrows around your flowchart, it is good to take a break and look back at what you've done so far. Review your steps and make sure everything is in the correct position. If your process flowchart happens to reference a location, it is important to try to include a map of the location you're referencing as well. Placing the map next to an important step or a person of interest will help to showcase the important relevance of that specific person or step with a high degree of effectiveness. Don't forget to have a connecting arrow between your person of interest or your critical step and your map. And now we will transition to a fully finished process flowchart so you can gain a better understanding of what your process flowchart should look like once you're done. Here is a fully finished process flowchart. In this flowchart, you can clearly see that it has a distinguished title at the top of the page. As this process flowchart is clearly organized into distinguished steps, each step has its own color coordination and arrows connecting it from one to the other. It is very important that your process flowchart is easy to read, colorful, and interesting for the viewer. If you follow all of the steps presented in this video, Your flowchart is going to look something very similar to this, depending on the type and style you choose to employ for your flowchart. As a final note, taking constant review breaks throughout your creation process is going to ensure that your process flowchart remains accurate to its true intention and helps you to avoid mistakes further down the line. If you enjoyed this video and found it interesting, please consider commenting, liking, and subscribing to the channel for more content just like this.